Today's Ask Me Anything goes out to A. Burr, who says, Robert, do you really think food, treat, rewards are the best option? What if the dog is smart enough to figure out when there is no treat around and refuses to do what it would normally would while there is a treat present? People are telling me treat training is the worst thing I can do for my puppy. Please help. Well, a couple things. Anybody who tells you that is an idiot, right? Anybody who doesn't want to use treats or rewards for a dog is just not playing with a full deck. I'm sorry, it's an idiotic stance. There's a lot of times I don't use food, but with puppies and luring and shaping basic behaviors, I always use food. It's the only true, fair, good way to do it. If you look at any competitive obedience people, any narcotics detection, scent detection, bomb detection, I'm going to keep those are all scent detection dogs, protection dogs, they're all trained with rewards. It's all based on rewards. Anybody who tells you this is an old school trainer, says I'm just going to yank the dog around and get him to do what I want him to do, and I think it's ridiculous. So first of all, if the dog is smart enough to figure out when there's a treat present, when there's not, you haven't done the treat training right, you haven't done the luring and shaping properly. You lure and shape with treats, you remove the treat, you get the dog to do a command. I've talked about this 1,000 times. Join my member section, look at all my other YouTube videos. We create the behavior by luring it, we create it over and over by luring it, then we tag a word to it, a command to it, we execute the command then gets the dog to exhibit the behavior, and then we reward. We don't, after a long time, keep holding the treat. I was talking about this in Bound Angels University. Everybody holds a treat up and gets the dog to do this. That's called the Catholic priest way of dog training, where you hold the treat up and say, do this, and then you get the treat. We don't do that, okay? So proper treat training, proper marker training, proper training like this is the best way to do it. It's not the only way to do it, right? But I think people who are doing it the other way, they're just not doing a good job at it. I have not seen a dog that was trained with aversives ever come close, and especially in obedience things, to dogs that were trained with rewards. That's it. Now, there's dogs that are trained solely with rewards that have zero impulse control, and they won't do things because they were only trained with rewards. So you need to balance those two. We're talking about balanced training now. I think most of my comrades in dog training are doing balanced training, using a good reward system, a good marker system, and a good correction system. You need three, right? You need a good reward, you need a good correction, and you just need to really what you need to focus on is you need to be fair to the dog. The communication between you and the dog needs to be clear. The dog needs to understand what you want, and the dog has to desire to do it because the dog has a relationship with you, whether or not there's a treat involved. But there's always a treat, right? There's always a reward, I should say, whether that reward is a toy, whether it's a treat, or whether it's just verbal praise from you. There's always a reward involved. Even in compulsion-based trainers, they'll reach down and give the dog, good, attaboy, which is still a reward, right? Whether it's a cookie, that, or whatever, don't lock onto one system. Go into a balanced training system where you can embrace all of it, you can do it all. Got a question? Ask me anything.